Hey, Moo Swan. How's it going? Toodles. I'm doing okay, Moo Swan. How are you? I hope you're safe out there. Yeah, so good to see you. Happy New Year. You be safe out there. You're a good kid. Muscle hamster. Better late than never. Right on. I like these raver things because they always show like they're at like some exotic place in the world, and there's not like a million boats or like out somewhere drone footage and you got beach and like nice stuff. Fuck yeah, Happy New Year. You have an interview in 2 hours? Well, we wish you the best. You have to hit a home run. You got this, Toodles. Right? So, yeah, we all need a job. You're willing to work. Gonna send a prayer out for you. Richard Clark, he got a job, and I think he's happy. So, if you get a good job, you know. Jellyfish. We have this, I don't know what it is. We just know it's indoor. The guy, he doesn't really speak English, so it's hard for me to communicate. And like, all right, what is it? Something different? What is it? That's Tara, what's up? Chillin', just got done doing my laundry. I'm talking about how shitty my life has been. That's about it. What about you guys? Drinking some beers? I don't think I do too well being independent. Enough of this. Oh, no doubt, right? So no doubt, I don't know how long it's been, but like 10 years, right? They're gonna play Coachella Festival. About time. One tour. Better come around here. Oh, this, I like this house. My laundry, I got to clean my stuff. Oh, let's turn it up. I can't hear it. Uh-oh, what? Chill out. Elon, it's still going. It died. So when my phone dies, the stream still goes, but it died. So start another one. So it will go until it dies. I'm not sure why it does that, and I don't know how to turn it off. Yeah, so when the battery dies, I think the stream still goes and whatever. I don't know how to turn it off, darn it. And start over properly. Maybe you could tell everyone in the stream. Say, don't hate me, I'm just the messenger. But the stream is like in Wonderland right now. Different dimension. So if you want to catch the live version of the retard, like, well, you would have to ask Aldi, right? You don't want to get me started. What? Like, for me, he's racist. He likes natives. Oh, right on, thanks. So I finally did my laundry. I'm like so bad. Hey, Avon, gamer, Avion. I cannot see. John Shrimp. Yeah, I don't really say that. I don't really like the word, but there are times when I will say it and it get me in a wreck. But not no IP2 stuff. We say it like we mean it. You should never be ashamed. You just gotta roll with it, baby. Go with the flow. Don't act like an idiot and talk mad shit like I do, because, yeah, we do that. So, not one to follow my own advice, but yeah, you don't want to act like that. You know, I'm very good at it for some reason. Or I'd like to think, right? Washington State. Yeah. You're up there. You're near the Columbia River. Yeah, it's Pacific Northwest tribes. Different. No, Rosie's night. Rosie's done. I don't know how to do it. It's in the cloud, like Alexa, like her brain. It goes into an ozone layer that, like, you need special senses to figure it out. In the Dakotas, they set it freezing -50, like Siberia or something. Well, I got half a beer. I have to go back out. Do you guys know what time it is? Tomorrow's Friday. I have to go sleep, wake up, be responsible. It's 9:23, so town shuts down early. So it looks like we're gonna have to get Mexican food, which is fine. Oh, look at the girls. What kind of girls? Oh, trying it out. Do you have a surfboard? We like when the girls have a surfboard. Like bikini. Oh, look at you. Oh, my goodness. Oh, we'll hear this one, so. All right. Oh, let's do a wax it. You can't see. Wax on. Wax on. I'm actually glad I got that long. It works pretty good. A baby dog. Throw all this stuff away. to go on a run. We can't take you because the thing will go kaput. I found my battery charger and then found another one, right? Like, I don't know where the fuck it came from. No, you can't go. We're like at 5% or some shit. I just have to get something to eat. I have to get some rolling papers and stuff. Beer and butt wipe. And let me think here. Yeah, wax is so good, but I don't really smoke wax too much. I rolled a joint and put the wax on the rolling paper, and it was pretty good. It tastes like honey. We should do one. We should get a cone, right? We should get some cones, but we don't want to smoke this into. Well, fuck it. We put the wax in there, cone it up. We think. Like Conehead, Beavis Butthead, something. All right. Well, it was a good day today. The rain is coming, so those days are a little whatever. But that's okay. So we're gonna milk my beer, right? Nurse it. Maybe we should gargle it and spit it up and try to drink it again. Recycle it, right? We think. So this music show, I don't listen to it anymore, but because I worked at a club, and oh my god, it was my bar. So open up the DJ booth, just fucking around, and then what's like whatever. So in the beginning of my set, I would try to like play this music that's just like dinner music or chill or some shit, and then bump it up. And me, I'm not like a real DJ, so I play popular shit. Like, everyone knows that shit. Like, the first DJ or some shit. Whatever. Right? And then mix it all up. But I would love that. We would start it off like dinner music or some shit. Ambient. So I worked at this place, Sky Sushi, right? And luckily, you know, the guys were pool hustlers, because I worked at the Hollywood Athletic Club, so it was an artsy-fartsy pool hall. But real pool hustlers go there, and a bunch of celebrities, right? And so they got their own club and gave me a job and opened it up, and it was like my bar finally. Oh my god, it took me 5 years to get my first. Like, what? So the restaurant closed? Like, no. And still did okay. But not like a real club. night where, can you imagine, the bartenders make so much money and then get party check more than managers. 5 years, but then I finally got my bar. Shit. Open up the DJ booth. That was so cool because it was like my bar. Like, whatever bar it is, you could, people, you could give them a round or whatever, but like that was like, it was the best. It was one of the best. My bosses were really nice to me. And one of my bosses, his name was Jean Robert, he does the poker thing, but he's a pool hustler, a B player, not an A player. So, yeah, not get your ass kicked, right? And then poker, same. But he got lots of money. But he had like hip hop and shit, right? So hip hop clubs are dangerous, right? So after the second homicide or something, first round, and then a nice upscale place, and then like sushi, whatever, celebrity movie star, right? The second homicide, shut it down. Like, what do you do now? Fuck. And that was a weird pocket. Santa Monica, I think it was a Sizzler once upon a time. I don't know. I think it's Hebrew, whoever owns it. It's a Hebrew neighborhood, more on the Hebrew side. It's Russian, Hebrew. I think that's a little more Hebrew. Hey, Mark. So we're just chilling. I'm gonna finish my backwash. And we're gonna go get something to eat. Poor Tiger. Like my cat. Okay, it's my cat. The poor thing injured. Her leg messed up. Fuck. And I think that other cat did it. I think you could put your cat fur everywhere. Oh, you fucker. Usually you think, because he hops the fence, like he could just hop that fence, like no problem. You think, maybe did you get your foot snagged? No. The other cat beat him up and bite him in the butt. And look what happened. So Tiger, you gotta grow up. You can't let that cat do that. You better bite his fucking ear off. His other ear. But he's still young. He has to. Don't let that cat do that. So after this, I think Rosie had a good point. No more food for you. You go home or wherever the fuck it is your charity, because this ain't it. This is Tiger's. No more food for you. Baby socks, I don't give a fuck if it's your boyfriend or whatever. House rule, you're out of here. Try to be nice, like, it's okay, you fucking varmint. And think about it, that's the little Lion King. No, fuck you. I kind of miss Hollywood. I have it on one of my phones, but it's so I don't know if they could take it, but it did really good. And like, I usually avoid Hollywood like the plague, but for some reason went down Hollywood and scored. Did really good. I think I got some killer photographs. And that's how I started, was in that pit hole. So I want to go to Humboldt. I want to spend a day at my storage. I know it's a lot of work, but I do have stuff in there. I need to donate it or give it away and stuff. Like, my government has like a box of Britney Spears shit, like a Britney Spears banners. Like, what would you do with that? I don't want to throw it away in trash or burn it like campfire. Donate that shit. I know you could sell it on eBay. I don't know how to do that shit. Fuck it. Just take it. I need to make room in my storage. It's like a time capsule. You got all this shit in there. It's like outdated. But I still have my first computer, like with the floppy disk, and like I built that thing. Yeah, I didn't buy piece by piece. Yeah, I got Photoshop on it. Whatever it is. Fry's Electronics. So the thing about it is, Fry's, they got Martians. Like, you go Burbank, got Martians. I don't know if Fry's anymore. And they got Alice in Wonderland. Even like Vegas got Martians too and stuff. Military stuff, Army, whatever. We used to love that place. It's a West Coast thing. I don't know if you ever had Fry's Electronics, but you would think with all the digital stuff they would be like on the money. But nope, they went out of business. I'm gonna waddle. We're gonna stealth it. I'm gonna go to the nearest place, get something to eat. You could listen to this chill music. Oh, we gotta turn it off. Oh, look at the girl. Girls are so funny. Look at where they are at. Oh, I can't look at you no more. turn all the lights off and stuff. I'm gonna go get something to eat. I shall return. It was like, oh, it's getting muddy. We have to say grace and give thanks for this wonderful meal. We have one left for retail. I'm all bearded out because, believe it or not, it gets mystified. It can get wet. Alexa's not cooperating. We're gonna go to bed. We're gonna eat. I have to be responsible. Oh, look at the earthworm. Oh, what happened in the earthworm? Wait a minute. Let me see you, Mama Earthworm. Oh, Mama Earthworm. Let me see you. It's gonna rain. So, Mama Earthworm, get out of the rain. Oh, it gets it. Wake up, Mama Earthworm. Look how weird. You gotta go in dirt, you can't go on cement. Mama Earthworm. You go over here. So it's a commercial of a band I am not familiar with, but we like to listen to them. A better commercial. So who's the band? Another commercial.
McAfee Plus is like having the power to turn invisible to hackers on public Wi-Fi. Get all-in-one protection with McAfee Plus.
You don't want to be on that stuff because there's too many thieves. You need public Wi-Fi.
In the wilds of highland Guatemala, a dense blanket of vegetation holds all in its clutches.
Watch out, watch out.
Thick brambles, roots, and ancient woodland, seizing away any kind of long-distance visibility in this so-called green desert. The going is tough, even by the notoriously treacherous standards of the New World.
We're going to watch a movie, documentary.
As a large team of Spanish conquistadors and their native servants hack away at the wilderness. Through brambles and razor leaves they go, pushing on through to the deep forest beyond.
We were riding my bike and slid through the ice and ate shit.
In Nahuatl, the language
Whipped back around, did it again, but did better. Not as good as
the
I
name
should have.
itself means place of many trees.
Alright, everyone, cheers. We're gonna
The
eat.
year is 1576. And just 50 years or
50.
so after the initial arrival of Europeans in this part of the world, the Yucatan Peninsula and its southern highland areas are still largely unexplored and unmapped. This isn't just enemy territory. It's unknown to Europeans entirely.
So, what was the answer? The answer was to
Like all
destroy it.
places at the edge of the map, here be monsters. In that year, Diego Garcia de Palacio, a determined soldier and magistrate in the governing council of the colonial state of Guatemala, has decided to make yet another foray into the unknown. Conquest and glory very much on his mind. Acting on orders from King Philip II of Spain, Palacio's mission was to inspect and catalogue the conquered provinces, embarking on a grand tour in order to do so. No stranger to the miserable deaths of comrades from both violence and bouts of malaria. The as yet then still mysterious scourge of Central America for centuries to come.
Oh, where are the little varmints?
Palacio must have had an iron constitution to not succumb during his lengthy journey. Besides his role as conqueror, he was an educated man. Born in around 1530 in Asturias, northern Spain, his interests included science and, above all else, sailing and navigation. His personal ambitions ranged far and wide, but above all else, he held a grand vision for expansion of the already mighty Spanish Empire. For Palacio, Honduras was to be the key. Uniquely placed between the colossal Atlantic Armada and the ever-growing Pacific Fleet. If he could achieve a means of crossing the Isthmus of land there,
The
the
Armada.
sought-after governorship of the Philippines would surely be his.
We have avocados, right?
And with it, as many ships as he could muster for the exploration and conquest of yet more lands.
Uh-oh. I need a knife. I'm gonna get one.
But for all of Palacio's lofty ideals, to the indigenous inhabitants of the lands he travelled through, living in small villages scattered throughout the forest, forced to submit to foreign rule from beyond the sea, the Spaniard and his men were simply the latest in a long line of brutal warriors to trespass in the land of trees.
Oh, they call it New Spain. Look.
Then, one day, just over the modern-day border of Guatemala and Honduras, everything changed. Amidst the gnarled trunks and thickets, one of the men spied something else jutting from the forest floor.
What was it, gold?
Within minutes, they were all seeing it. Stone structures, unmistakably carved by human hands. Elaborate buildings,
Or pyramids.
crafted with snarling, beastly idols.
Beastly idols. Ooh, watch out.
Confident, mocking in their gaze. And besides, great towering structures and mounds coated in dense foliage, as tall as the sky. The men could only stare on in awe at what they were seeing, perhaps feeling they caught a glimpse of something they shouldn't. Hieronymus Bosch painting in the flesh. What were these labyrinthine structures, of a size and sophistication
Well,
to
wet
match
burrito.
anything in the old
Right.
world, adorned with hideous, powerful symbols? And more ominously, who had built them? Though Palacio was surely familiar with the reports from earlier
Alexa's
on
not
in the
working.
century
We could ask her,
of the
but she don't
towns
know.
and cities destroyed by the initial conquests. His predecessors often building their own settlements directly on top of those that came before, like the Yucatec colonial capital of Merida and the Mexican capital far to the north. New cathedrals etched from the stone of pagan temples and pyramids. Surely they had paled in comparison to this place. As was the custom of the day, Palacio wrote a lengthy description of his entire journey across the provinces that was then dispatched to the king back in Europe. And at the end of that account, dated 8th of March 1576, he wrote an 850-word description of those mighty ruins in the forest.
Here was formerly the seat of a great power and a great population, civilized and considerably advanced in the arts, as is shown in various figures and buildings.
But what had happened here? And how had the place fallen into such ruin? Much of the stonework Palacio saw, including 8 large statues of men and women, altars, terraces, and a large plaza resembling the Colosseum of ancient Rome, he told the king was constructed with such skill that it could not possibly have been created by a people as rude as the natives of that province. And yet, though they had little knowledge of the site's history, at least that they were willing to share, he does mention certain legends from the time of the conquistadors' initial arrival, a generation or two earlier. Stories of a great Yucatec king who in ancient times had come down to the region from the north to build a mighty city, only to return from whence he came after a number of years, leaving forlorn ruins in his wake. Palacio's questions would remain unanswered. He would never reach his grandiose goals either, eventually ending up on the coast of Mexico, an undistinguished sea captain, hunting and failing to catch English marauders like Sir Francis Drake. It's not known whether the king ever even read his account, another document added to a swelling pile of imperial archives at the court of the Habsburg king. Just like the mighty city itself, forgotten for centuries. It's only today, with the benefit of hundreds of years of accumulated knowledge, that we can speak with any authority about those ruins. Though Palacio and his men went to their graves with little knowledge of what truly it was that they saw, we now know that they were perhaps the first non-natives to explore a vanished world which reached its peak and collapsed hundreds of years before the European arrival. For they were walking within the walls of the great city of Copan, one of the powerhouses of classic Maya civilization. A far-reaching culture that had once dominated the region from sea to sea. For Guatemala hadn't always been a land of forest. Some 800 years before Palacio's day, almost the entire peninsula had been stripped of trees.
Well,
To make way for vast agricultural estates. Elaborate networks of highways crisscrossing the land between towns and cities. Home to a Leviathan population of millions. During the early Middle Ages, as Anglo-Saxon kings engaged in spars of hundreds of warriors, very few towns to speak of existed in Britain. On the continent, Charlemagne ruled over a sprawling state. Though this was held together by little more than personal charisma, crumbling into factions on his death. As Vikings and Magyar raiders came flooding into Christendom to usher in one of the darkest centuries in its history. In Central America, vast cities of 50,000 and more sprawled into an open landscape of irrigated farms and settlements. Masters of writing, advanced mathematics, astronomy, elaborate calendrical systems, immense public works. One of the most extraordinary civilizations the world has ever seen. All achieved by human hands alone. No domesticatable pack animals existing in this part of the world. And just prior to the collapse of the classic Maya world in the late 8th century AD, the total population outside the cities, hinted at in recent years by LiDAR ground surveying technology, may well have stood in the tens of millions.
now they have new radars,
Indeed,
you can see through the
Palacio
forest.
had been correct in a way. The Maya of his day in the 1570s were very different from their mighty ancestors. But given the Holocaust they'd suffered in the meantime, losing as much as 90% of their numbers to zoonotic European disease alone, spread from the pack animals brought over by the first settlers.
That's a
Today,
real pandemic.
This comes
Not
as
like
no surprise.
whatever.
Though entirely overgrown in Palacio's day, it's difficult to overstate just how impressive the ruins of Copan still would have been. Unfortunately, like many Mayan cities, the place has suffered greatly in the years since. Much of it falling into the adjacent changing river course. In 1936, the Carnegie Institute had to intervene drastically to save the ruins. Many other cities have since been completely lost to growing urban centres and housing developers. Their secrets disappearing to the black market and the collections of private buyers. For the world at large, besides a few local people who maintained the secrets of their ancestors away from praying eyes, It would be another 300 years from Palacio's time before their existence would finally be definitively revealed. And at others, like the mighty capital of Calakmul, one of the superpowers of the Maya world, only investigated during the last few decades, and still as yet undiscovered centres. It will take much longer. Today, some 40 or so massive classic sites have been located and studied. All unique in their own way. Piece by piece, adding their tales to the tapestry of Maya civilization. Crumbling walls and palaces coated with the fading stories of their foundations. The likes of Calakmul and Tikal must surely be the pinnacles of it all. Mega sites pored over by historians, archaeologists, mythologists and art historians alike. But many other huge centres existed too. The likes of Karakol, Koba,
Oh wow.
Palenque,
There's so
Piedras
many.
Negras, Yaxchilan, and of course, Copan. But even these near unfathomably massive and impressive places often pale in comparison to an even earlier time, a pre-classic first flourishing of Maya society. Seen at places like Nakbay and El Mirador during the first millennium BC, El Mirador may very well have the largest pyramid in the world.
Really?
But these sites would have to wait until well into the 20th century to be rediscovered by the wider world.
Are you sure?
Much of their secrets still waiting to be unlocked. Despite conspiracy theorist claims to the contrary, there never was a real Mayan apocalypse. As we shall see, after the collapse of the classic cities in the 9th century, the Mayans didn't disappear, rather changing their ways. A post-classic society developing with the same writing system and culture for the most part intact. Even cities would again arise in the north of the Yucatan. Rising and falling on the ebb and flow of time until the arrival of the Spaniards. Today, Mayans still make up the majority of the population in vast areas of eastern Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, El Salvador,
That's Central
and
America.
western Honduras.
You have Mexico,
Clinging on
Central,
against
and then
all
the
the
South.
odds to the lands of their ancestors. Several million of them still speak one of the 28 Mayan languages as their primary tongue. and they've maintained many of the traditions, oral and written histories, rituals and dances of the ancestors. For the most part, though, after a struggle for survival lasting some 500 years, only recently have they been invited to work alongside archaeologists in the research of their people. This is a story that is still very much being told. Besides the initial conquistadors of the 16th century, it's a tale that features a colourful cast of explorers and fascinated scholars.
Anyways, we're gonna go to bed now.
Obsessed by that lost world of long ago. From 18th century barons to 19th century travel writers and early archaeologists, to the kings and queens themselves who ruled over the great cities of the forest. And of course, their descendants, who still safeguard many of the ruins to this day. Of philosopher emperors and the birth of gods, colliding continents and voyages to distant lands.
Anyways, everyone, have a good night. We just munched out.
It's one of the greatest stories ever
I'm
told.
too tired to do anything but smoke a cigarette. We're gonna watch this, go sleep.
Hello, and welcome to History Time.
We're watching the
As
history.
always, I'm your host, Pete Kelly. I've been obsessed with the pre-Columbian Americas since childhood. It's no secret that in the early 2000s, Michael Wood's Conquistadors is one of the reasons I pursued the study of history in the first place. Eventually writing an undergraduate dissertation on the ritualistic warfare of the Mexica Aztecs. Before embarking on a parallel voyage into the early Middle Ages and ancient Eurasia. But all the while, the Americas called.
Oh, this is their jungle.
February
So
2022,
different.
I was lucky enough to visit Mexico and Guatemala for myself. Fulfilling a lifelong dream of walking in the footsteps of the ancient Maya. Delving into the storied metropolises of that mystical land firsthand. And after spending weeks journeying through the forest, scrutinising ruins and museums, I can tell
There's so many
it will take
ruins
hundreds
everywhere.
more years to fully excavate the region. There likely being many more cities and paradigm-shifting discoveries still waiting to be found. Epic tales of dynastic conflicts and philosopher kings out there waiting to be unlocked one day. This is the entire history of the Maya. It's well over 3 hours long and has taken me years to make. I'll try to tell the whole tale here, but there will be many more individual stories too on my other channel, Pete Kelly, so go and check it out here. I'm creating an entire series on all of the major Mayan cities, and some little known ones too.
good. We're gonna watch something else.
It's a series I hope to continue to add to for many decades to come. I'd also like to thank Dr. David Miano from the World of Antiquity channel for creating the initial script for this video. It's more than doubled in length since, with my own meanderings, so think of it as a fusion between the two of us.
You talk funny, huh?
Here's a word from Dr. Miano himself.
Thank you, Pete. David Miano here from the World of Antiquity channel. If you want to hear more about the Maya, come on over to watch our entire series, The Antiquities Travel Guide, Series 2, on the Yucatan. We explore some really fascinating sites. And if you like ancient
Have a good
history in
night,
general,
Elon.
There's
Buddy
plenty to watch.
Buds,
A whole
MR,
host of topics. Back to you, Pete.
John
I
Doe,
really do recommend watching his content.
everyone,
And of
Avon
course, my
Gamer,
travel videos too. Now, before we get stuck in
John
the entire
Shrimp.
history of the Mayans, the most ambitious project
sorry, I'm
ever
drunk.
attempted, here's a
But
quick word
everyone,
from our
have a
sponsor.
wonderful evening. Go sleep now. Muscle Hamster, Toodles, Movie Squad.
The great lords
Junkyard
of the classic
Dog.
Maya world didn't have to worry about cyber attacks.
Huh?
Living in a time of spirit battles and magic, theirs was a world before the internet.
And magic.
Today, though, with the constant barrage of viruses and threats to cybersecurity, they wouldn't get far without some sort
Have a good
of
night,
defense. NordVPN would be
Have a
perfect
good night.
for any Maya aristocrat seeking to maintain their fortune. Or just a regular